You patched Redis in May because Redis told you to. Then you patched again in July. And for one of these bugs, you were exploitable the entire time. Not because you missed an update, because the update didn't contain the fix it said it did. Redis shipped 7 security releases on July 23rd, after researchers published working remote code execution proof of concepts against stock installs. Now, the headline you'll see is that an AI agent swarm found 19 0 days in 90 minutes and wrote the exploit in 27. That's the researcher's own claim posted on X. Hold that one loosely. I'll come back to exactly how much of it is verified, because it's less than you'd think. The part nobody's talking about is solid, checkable, and worse. First bug in Redis streams. A corrupted database object makes 2 consumers point at the same pending entry record. Delete the first consumer, that record gets freed. The second consumer is still pointing at it. Delete the second one too, and you free the same chunk twice. From there, the published script turns that corruption into arbitrary memory access, poisons a database hash function, and then a perfectly ordinary GT command call system. Your cache is now a shell. Here's the part that should change how you patch. Redis 8.6.4's release notes say it fixes this. They cite the pull request by number. But a source review by the Hacker News found the tagged 8.6.4 code does not actually contain the duplicate ownership check that pull request was supposed to add. The guard only shows up in 8.6.5, released July 23rd. Same story in May. 6.2.22 and 7.4.9 were the versions Redis pointed everyone at, and neither carried the ownership guard either. So you could have done everything right twice and still been sitting on a live remote code execution path. Second bug, same flavor of mistake. The Redis Bloom tdigest loader sizes its arrays from one value in the file, then trusts a completely different, attacker-controlled field when deciding how much to load. Small allocation, inflated metadata, right off the end. Same ending. Read and write primitives, leak the addresses, poison the hash function, and a crafted get-call system. Now back to that headline. The claim is that Kimi K3 agents found 19 Redis 0 days in about 90 minutes and produced the exploit in 27. Comes from one researcher on X. The Hacker News is unusually direct about this. Those counts, those timings, and the claimed degree of autonomy are self-reported. Redis public record confirms the flaws and the fixes. It does not validate the 0-day count, and it does not validate how independently those agents actually worked. So, real bugs, real patches, real working exploits. The stopwatch take with salt. A number nobody can check is marketing until somebody checks it. Here's a wrinkle for anyone whose patching is driven by CVE feeds. Redis July release notes list no CVE and no severity score for either new bug class. The proof of concept repo files the streams issue under an existing CVE's incomplete fix family, but Redis maps that CVE to a different flaw entirely. As of July 24th, there was no separate national vulnerability database entry for either July finding, and nothing in SysA's known exploited catalog. If your process waits for a CVE to appear before you act, this one is invisible to you. There's also no evidence of anyone exploiting it in the wild yet. So concretely, upgrade to the fixed release for whichever branch you're on. 6.2.23, 7.2.15, 7.4.10, 8.2.8, 8.4.5, 8.6.5, or 8.8.1. And until you've done that, take restore away from any account that doesn't strictly need it. Every one of the 4 published chains needs restore. Revoke it and both disclosed paths are cut off. The habit worth stealing from all this. Check the exact branch version you're running, not whether you were recently patched. Those are not the same question, and this month they had different answers. Whether or not an AI swarm really did this in 90 minutes, the uncomfortable half of the story doesn't depend on it. Somebody looked at the ship source, compared it to what the release notes promised, and they didn't match. Finding bugs is getting cheaper, fast. Verifying that a fix actually landed hasn't. That gap is where you live now. If that was useful, subscribe and turn on notifications. One real AI agent attack broken down every single day. It's free, and it's the one button that tells me to keep making these. Subscribe, hit the bell, and go watch that one next. If this was useful, subscribe. New AI agent and security breakdowns every day.